Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our beautiful teacher and our sporting audience today. On this refreshing morning, we all knew that we are going to have some of our friends presenting their group work essay based on the task given by Miss Q from the past 2 weeks. I hope all of you are ready to give all of your supports to our friends so that they can undergo their presentation smoothly. So, without any hesitation, let's welcome the first presenter from Group 1, Nashazira, to present their group essay.
Um, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nashazira Alia and my teammates are Kubina Devi, Nurul Afika, Nurul Inshira and Jelisha Nonabiha. For today, I'm going to present about a story that made by my group. We chose long form story instead of picture book. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Of course, we will.
Everyone can see it, right?
Yes, we can.
Wait. Okay. Sea of Dandelions. This is the story. Chapter 1. A Little Boy's Despair. Crouching at a spot one day, a little boy wandered into his heart. Oh dear Lord, you gave the sun, the earth, the flowers, the sky, and the stars. But why is misery still lurking away in the heart? At a corner, a withered man a withered old man coughed and shook. A child starved to death and a doctor in the local hospital sighed while wiping the sweat off her brow. In her house, a miser greedily counted his gold. Should not the spirit of Christmas Eve come and haunt him for his selfishness? And should not the angels from the heavenly sky come to the aid of the poor? But here we are, in the depth of despair, bewailing each of our feet. Chapter 2. Dandelions. As time went by, the boy encountered more and more agonies around him. There were the people who can no longer afford enough food for their offspring. The suicide cases going sky high and the plague continues taking life of the dear ones. Parents burned out from work while children distressed due to virtual school. Depressed by his current fate, the little boy ran as far as his legs could take him until he reached a field of dandelions, where he came to a stop and fell onto the ground, crying and wailing his little heart out. The cool breeze blew the dandelions away, and the bird chirped into a song which was ever so calming, that the little boy fell asleep in the field of dandelions. Chapter 3. The Lady. Boy, wake up, wake up. A soft voice awoke the little boy, whose face was drenched and puffy due to crying. A woman with fair skin, long hair, and a kind smile was standing in front of him. Now, why with the sullen face? Are you sick? The little boy knew not who she was, but he poured his heart out to her, and she, on the other hand, listened to this attentively. Why do we have to suffer all this? Why isn't anyone happy anymore? He cried for that was all that mattered to him right now. Softly, the woman replied, the world is and will always be in the way we want it to be. Don't you think so? We humans chose to pollute and kill for greed, and yet we bemoan the consequence. We chose to hate and hurt, and yet we cry later on. However, behind every cloud there is always a silver lining. The boy could not understand much, but he was comforted by her kindness and warmth. Chapter 4. The Heavenly Advice. Why do you cry so much for the world when there's so much more to love and be happy about? All we need is faith and patience. He, he, who all, he who plays with the ball of the world on the ocean of milk knows when to catch it as well. Remember, boy, man proposes, God deposes. We are living in the field of dandelions, where despite all the pollution around us, killing love and taking away what we love the most, there is still hope for a better day, growth for a better future, and healing for all the painful ones. Wake up and enjoy the sunbeam outside, the chirping of the birds, the existence of your family, the help given by people, the food on your table, and the fresh scent of a new life despite all the stress about. And with that, the lady sang him to sleep and very quietly went away. Chapter 5. Rays of Hope. When the boy awoke, when the boy awoke, he couldn't find her anyway, but her words touched his heart and opened up his mind. He happily ran home and grabbed his old clothes and some food. He took out a handkerchief and table fan and ran to the old withered man who shook in cold. He put on his jacket onto him and gave him some food, but alas, he couldn't manage to save the little girl, but gave food to the kids surrounding her. He took out his handkerchief and table fan and gave it to the doctor in charge. Finally, he ran back to his family and hugged them tight as never before. That fateful night, he slept with a smile upon his face for a better day. Chapter 6. Humility leads to success. So you see, everyone has their own problems, but if we can't appreciate the most simple things in life, we never will really enjoy them. Every night, we sleep without an assurance that we will wake up tomorrow morning, but still, we set we set our alarms to ring us up the next morning. That is hope. Learn to give and take in life, for you can't expect a rainbow if you don't put up with the rain. The end. The end. That's all from me.
Nice. What a touching story. I bet that the boy must be really kind and lovely. You've earned my respect, Nasha. Besides, their story reminded us that we can't expect a rainbow if we don't put up with the rain. So please remember that. So, without any hesitation, next let's continue to our program with the next presenter from Group 2. Please welcome Hayati to present her group essay. Let's wait for a moment for Hayati and let's give her some space.
Okay. Today, we will present our story. We are from Group 2. Our story made by Sarah, Alia Maisara, Zulzayana, Anis Amila, and me. Haiti Tehma. Okay, I will present my story. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, we can, Hayati.
Okay. Wait. Okay, as you can see, we use Canva for our story. So, okay, we okay. Firstly, we must use the word. The nurses wheeled her away into the intensive care unit. I can see she's groaning and her face shows that she's in pain. She looks familiar. I was just got a meeting with my doctor. Without thinking, I just followed her. I wonder why, by just looking at her, my heart beat so fast and my eyes were full of tears. Then I rushed to the inquiry counter and asked the name of the patient. Fortunately, it's my best friend Alicia. After a few hours, I saw a doctor coming out from the operating room. I asked what happened to her. He said he was nearly get killed and now she's in coma. After knowing that, I thought it's better to return to my house. I walked straight to the bus stop with my teary and red eyes. Suddenly, I felt like someone were following me. I tried to stay calm, but it was really hard. The thing that happened to Alicia made my sight blurry and my head become dizzy. I tried to stabilize my body, but all of a sudden, everything turns back. It felt like there was a man who grabbed me before I fell. Then I suddenly fainted. I woke up feeling weak. As I opened both of my eyes, I'm shocked because it's not my house. Then I was struggling to move my hands and my feet, but they got tied by a rope. I was so frightened, so I shouted for help. I tried to look around to recognize the place. It's kind of hard to describe the place. It's just so empty and dusty. It's also dark inside. Later that time, their cameraman that looked very familiar. By just the first two, I clearly remember that he is my old friend Johnny. He stood in front of me with an annoying face like he wanted to swallow me. He clenched his teeth and explained that he hated me for being the most popular person in our school. He also said Alicia's coma was just the part of his plan. I couldn't believe that something like this could happen to me. I was regretting for not believing Alicia's word. She once warned me that Johnny really hates me and he is mentally ill. I just take her word as a joke. I don't think that Johnny could be a person like that. It's turned out that he really hoped that I didn't even exist, so I'd never be able to attract his friend to hang out with me back then. I'm really surprised by his true colors, and also now I'm here scared of dying since he could kill me anytime. I told him that even if he succeeds to kill me, I highly hope that he could let go of Alicia, who is now in coma that probably won't survive. He smirked and said that Alicia is already dead, killed by the doctor who treat her. He paid the doctor with a large sum of money to take Alicia's life. My heart was torn out as I heard his word. I'm crying loudly and shouted for help as loud as I could with the energy I had left. I knew that I couldn't forgive myself. My mind couldn't think straight anymore. He stood up and said, I'm very jealous of you with all the things that you've had, your friends, your wealth, your house, and most importantly, your fame. I really want all the things you have. He proudly said, it's the time for me to replace you. I will get all of the things that I deserve in this life. With my cracked voice, I begged, please forgive me. I will give all the things that you wanted. He said that I was too late. Lastly, he smiled and slowly cut my neck with a knife. With my face full of tears. It was the most scary experience that happened in the last day of my life. Okay, the end.
Guys, what a story! I guess it's really breathtaking. I kind of feel sad for that woman in that story. I hope that she could get her revenge. Super! Thank you for presentation. Now let's continue to the next presentation from Group 4. Please welcome Hadif.
Alright, so our group, which is group 4, will have written a story called The Rise of the Strategist. Chapter 1, An Ordinary Boy. Sun Tzu once said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, you will also suffer a defeat for every victory gained. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. I have always admired Sun Tzu since I was a kid, and also read one of his. I have always admired Sun Tzu since I was a kid, and also read one of his masterpieces, The Art of War. I really wanted. Can you see the screen?
No, we cannot.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can now.
Uh,
You got this, Hadif.
sorry for sorry for the technical issue. Alright, so our group have written the story of the rest of the strategies. Chapter 1, An Ordinary Boy. Sun Tzu once said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, you will also suffer a defeat for every victory gained. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. I have always admired Sun Tzu since I was a kid, and also read one of his masterpieces, The Art of War. I really wanted to be a strategist, but now I'm just a convenience store worker. Everybody called me the useless Jack during my high school period because I sucked at everything, such as sports and academics. My family is also looked down upon as I am just dead weight to them. Chapter 2, Decision. Knowing nothing are going well with me, I decided to find a new hobby to fill my emptiness. I wandered for several days to figure out my hobby. One day, I'm on the way to get back home from my work when I saw an advertisement about a game on an electronic billboard. The game looks lively and challenging. It's full of strategic gameplay, and the animation also looks amazing. After I saw the advertisement, I plan to drop by the nearest cyber cafe to give a shot about the game. Apparently, there are many people who also play the game. I am amazed by the gameplay of the game. The mechanic of the game is like the art of war. After that day, I always drop by to cyber cafe after my work. At some moment, I thought this is my hobby, and since I am in love with it, I will take this thing seriously. From there, I decided to save my money to buy a gaming PC. After 2 months of saving, at last I got my gaming PC, and I decided to find a team to compete in the Pro League. Chapter 3, Golden Chance. After that, all my family has known that I have played online games which are Dota. I practice so hard to become a professional player. Day by day, my technique keeps improving. When my uncle saw my technique of playing the game, he gave me a huge surprise. The surprise is he introduced me to a group of the professional players. It was a coincidence because they just need one player left to complete the group member. Then they decided to choose me. I was over cloud nine. Later, we practiced together to make sure that we have good communication between the members. Chapter 4, Achievement. My team and I have already won a lot of small competition. As a result of our performance, we received a lot of offers to compete as participants in the international competition. We accepted one of the offers because we were ready for the big fish. At the competition, all of us were already hyped up and ready to become the champion. All the rounds went smoothly except the final round. That was the first time we fought a very skillful player. It took 2 hours to finish the game and we came on top. We managed to defeat the team and became the champion. Chapter 5, the epic final. There's nothing that can be uttered to express our victorious win for the championship. We were granted the glorious trophy and prize pool of $2.5 million as the winner of the Dota 2 World Championship. Although we were exhausted throughout the whole season, we were glad to achieve our greatest feat, standing as the champion and also as the representative of our country. When we arrived at our hometown, we decided to split up our prize money equally among the members. I went to the city to survey the house apartment downtown to buy it from my family as a present and also to prove that I am a big shot. Maybe because of the large amount of money that I have, the price for the house felt nothing to be terrified of. Without hesitation, I bought it immediately. I can't wait to see the direction. Okay, so that's all.
Wow, your work is out of sight. It's very pleased to read. You've done such a great story, Hadif, and your groups. I believe it's very, very interesting to be read by anybody. Thank you for your presentations. Now,
Thank you, Alia.
let's continue to the next presenter, Kavi from Group 6. Please welcome.
Okay, let me share the screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Can?
you can.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Kavitran, and my team members are Aina, Musab, and Naja. So my team story is an unforgettable experience. Oh my God. Okay. What's For chapter 1 is planning. So let me start. Everyone has a dream, especially on an ordinary girl like me. I have an experience which still is freshly lingering in my mind, no matter how fast time flies. Back when I was a teenager, my friend Mimi and I had a plan to travel to the South Korea together and go to a concert of our favorite boy band group. To achieve our big dream, we had various ways since high school. Firstly, we made a specially piggy bank for our trip, and we took it easy by saving only around 5 ringgit a week from our school pocket money consistently during high school. As we entered college, we made a huge step by opening an online small business and handmade accessories, and surprisingly, we earned outstanding support from our customers, families, and friends. Amazingly, we managed to save our money after grabbing graduating from college. Without hesitation, we made our mind to book our ticket to the Seoul, South Korea, and constantly our favorite boy band was organizing concert in the Seoul, so we did not lose our chance to get the experience once in a lifetime. Chapter 2: Living Our Dream. As we reached Incheon International Airport, we saw such a pleasant view of cherry blossom that faced that fade. Oh my god! I'm sorry, my okay. Okay. As we reached Incheon International Airport, we saw such a pleasant view of a cherry blossom that faded as that it was the spring season, since it also a part of our plan because Malaysia doesn't have such a season. During that night, we went to the Iteon Street where we found a variety of halal food restaurants. After half an hour of strolling around, we finally chose a halal food restaurant that serves Korean foods. We were amazed by the several side dish served, plus we could not believe that we got experienced this Korean drama like vibe. On the next day, we spent our time at the Late World Adventure in Seoul. One of the special thing that about this theme park is it has the largest door theme park. We enjoyed the ride there, and the water park was so less fun. My heart was in my mouth when riding the roller coaster. Before this, we only watch artists on variety shows when there, and it was unbelievable to get to feed it ourselves. We also spent one of our days there visiting the Namsan Tower. We also memorized to see the panoramic views of the city, and we got experience a big cable ride from the middle of the Namsan mountain up to the top. It was worth it to match the captivating views we had on the top of the Namsan Tower. Finally, the highlight of the trip was attending the huge concert of our favorite boy band group. We were over the moon, and we had mixed feeling during the concert as we were proud that we made it this far. We dropped tears of happiness, and we screamed our lungs throughout the 3 hours concert. There was no chance to be dozed off. Chapter 3: Hope and Reflection. It was such unforgettable experience since we planned everything since high school, and everything went smooth as got along well. Our passion for this dream to come true and the plans we had done together were paid off with wonderful trip. Therefore, if you have a dream, it's better to let your family and friends know instead of keeping it to yourself, so they could support you in any possible way. Walt Disney once said, "All our dreams could come true if we had the courage of the purse. Then someday, the courage to pursue them. Someday, I wish to visit South Korea again. After the pandemic last and everything turns as it used to be." Thank you.
Wonderful. I bet all the audience love your story. It's very refreshing and beautiful. You must keep up with the good work. We really, really love it. Thank you for your presentation. So, without any hesitation, let's welcome the next presenter from Group 5, Akma, to present their group essay.
Wait. Uh, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I am Akmar from Group 5 and now I'm gonna present my group story. But our group story is quite simple, but yeah, let's just enjoy the story. Let me begin. Oh, sorry. The story is about friend. The title is Friend. And it's written by all of our group. There is Sedek, Mukarobin, Amar, me, and Amihari. And let me begin the story. This is a story about my greatest friend I've ever had. It all happened when I was 15 years old. My father got a surprising news. He was transferred to Birmingham, England. Everybody was in a whale of time. We are pretty keen on to life there. I need to accept that I will continue my studies there. I feel nervous and sad to leave my friends. As we were in Birmingham, all things went smoothly, except for school. I had few problems in making new friends. The people there were rude to me. They made fun of me and threw racial slurs towards me. I was totally being ignored at all time. Mom told me to keep in mind to be patient, but I was sick of being their job. I really don't want to go school at the time. Next. But a fortnight after that, suddenly a boy came toward me. He offered me to share his lunch with me during recess. Hey, can I share my lunch with you? Said the boy. His name is Patrick. He is a boy who was paralyzed since 10 years old and he can move without his wheelchair. After the incident, we became best friends. Patrick was not really good at studies that time. I asked and offered myself to teach and study with him. Other than studying, we also did a lot of things together. We went for movies, fishing, and playing games. He was friendly with my family members too. Even though I had Patrick with me, the other students still hate us. They even call us the nerds. Sometimes they mock Patrick in a way Patrick cannot walk. It was such a tough and annoying situation. We were really sick of it, but we just keep ignoring it. We still spend our time together happily. After final exam result were out, we were in cloud 9 to be crowned as the top students. We passed high school with flying colors and graduated perfectly. It was such like a dream comes true, bro, shouted Patrick. Patrick and I managed to prove that we still can success, although we were hated by the community for almost 3 years. When we were together, none of these things matters. He was truly the greatest friend I'd ever had. The end of the story. Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you.
Nice story. It's really good. You've made such a superb story, and you're also stating your appreciation when you have a friends. What a good thing, right? The story also tells us to ignore those bad students and enjoy our life, since you can see that Patrick is being mocked by the other students. I hope all of us can take that seriously in our real life. Thanks, Akma. Now, let's continue with our last presenter from Group 3, Amirul, to present his group essay. Please sit tightly as maybe some of you are going to be amazed with their group story. Please welcome.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. So today we are going to talk about a story that I meet with my teammates, which title 300, 3050. So let me share screen first. Alright, okay. Chapter 1. Between them. A man ran to his son with an open arms and huge smile, as if it, as if it's, as if, as if it is the last day he met his beloved son. The tears dropped upon his cheek while his son sobbing aloud. The lieutenant called out him to join the soldier as fast as lightning. Amit kept an eye on that situation, sitting on his chair to the window in the left. He recalled the sweet moment with his daughter, the last, the little girl who has round eyes, pink cheeks, blonde ponytail hair was playing around inside his steady mind. He realized that the experiment is not finished yet. He got up from the chair and continued his fine touch on this massive project with Professor Alex. Alex came to the room with 2 cups of tea with high concentration of caffeine. He claims that the coffee won't make them sleepy. Without hesitation, Ami took a sip of the coffee, but then, in unfortunate, he felt everything around him turning around. In a sudden, he collapsed. He heard Alex's voice in half conscious. The freezing experiment is ongoing. You are the first one guinea pig. I'm pretty sure that this won't hurt you. Don't worry, my dear. I will take care of your pretty daughter. Now she's mine. Amir finally wake up, but he's already half frozen. Chapter 2. Wake up in 3050. Amir, Amir, wake up. Are Amir going to make it? I'm not sure he's the last. We couldn't expect everything. The noisy sound started to confuse my mind. I couldn't capable to open my eyes, either making a single movement. It's frustrating me as I do not feel my body. It's just me and my inner voice for a while. The noisy chatting begins to disappear, and it's replaced by the terribly loud genius sound. I feel my adrenaline rushing through my body and the heart is pumping extremely fast. My body is enduring insufferable pain for a wide, long period of time. It feels like my body is trying to fix all the weak nerve and the brain looks like it's about to blow out in a second. My muscles stretch badly as I'm no longer have a strength to scream. I'm not going to make it. Please stop it or I'll give up. On the spur of the moment, my eyes open widely. The strong urge forced me to wake up. The pain vanished straight away. My side is overcrowded, with numerous people surrounding me, looking with an unbearable expression. I soon recognized them, but then when my eyes catch this one person, I feel furious about knowing why. That person approaching me. Do you remember me? No. Okay, I'm going to explain everything, so please don't interrupt my word. Everyone is nodding. Finally, we have got to know what happening inside here, thanks to Ami. You have been frozen for a very long time. It's 3050 today. I know it's strange, but I saved as many as I could during the war by this method. After this world got healed, this is the time that human can back to the living without any threat and regenerate our species. By today, if there is a living up there, they are my ancestry. So it's just you who survived the freezing. Less than half. You living is freezing here with the rodent corpse for at least 1,000 years. Why you look it so long? You should learn how to be grateful. Sorry, it's actually the man talking. You should learn how to be grateful. I fixed this world for you by myself. And of course, you have to help me in return. Kill the terrorists and I'll give you everything. Then the person or people call him the great scientist leaves everyone in this schoolroom with curiosity. Everyone is speechless thinking how far he went. Next, chapter 3. Destroy the terrorists. Each of us is driving to our bases, provided by the scientists. Along the journey, I can see the outside world clearly through the window. It is very different from my expectation while waiting to be released from the lab. It is fabulous, a very captivating view I have seen. No single dust covering the sunlight, and the sky is ablaze with fire of the second flame. A city where people will never imagine of in, in the last 1,000 years. I can see giant sunflower-like umbrellas that function to provide movable shade during the day while they store heat, closing at night to keep the heat inside the city. Buildings are made of recyclable materials and hydromotor vehicles floating everywhere. All of a sudden, I see a I see a small group of android, which is a robot with a human appearance, burning the residential area and fighting each other. They kidnap children and injure the elders. They might These might be terrorists that need to be destroyed immediately. I look at one point where chaotic occurs, and there's a young girl monitoring the situation from the top of the building. She seemed quite relaxed and calm, such a suspicious matter when she suddenly takes her remote control from her pockets. I sprint toward the building to stop her, thinking that she will puzzle the situation up. Upon arrival, the door opens while the girl turning back with quick face. I jump off of my face as I know her very well. My heart beating so fast. Next chapter, chapter 4. The tea spilled. The connection becomes stronger when I walk to her. Question by question spill out of our mouths. We talk to each other like we have a well-built relationship before. Who are you actually? Asked Ami. I'm the daughter of an old jerk. We are the last human who lives as a cyborg, a person whose physical abilities are attained beyond normal human limitation by mechanical elements built into the body. For 1,000 years. Oh, you are daughter of Professor Alex. He's amazing. I can't believe this. I can't believe how he's turning this world to such a special place. You think he's that kind person? You are so lame. I'm so surprised hearing a word. We all believe that he's the savior of this earth. I start to dig more about Professor Alex's secret. If you want to know, Alex just used you, frozen people, to destroy the terrorists so that this perfect will continue under his control. His greediness is never end. Your people will die soon. Every life is nothing to him. During the last war, he's the one who stopped the battle by releasing the most dangerous gas to kill everyone. Now we robot will leave and I'm so sick of it. So you are the one who troubled the world by all this terrorism matter? What a question, man! To stop Alex, I'll do anything. And it's chapter 4. Let's continue to the chapter 5. I'm sorry for the noisy. Yeah, sorry. And the last chapter, chapter 5. The blood overturned. Why so sudden? Yelled Jenny. We've got no time, Jenny. We have to stop him before the people die. Upon arrival, Amir looked for Alex fiercely and clenching his fist, ready to attack Alex first. Amir creating trouble. Amir creating trouble by flipping the table in the lab. All the apparatuses are badly damaged. Alex is surprised and shocked by Amir's action. Are you out of mind? You are a traitor. So, such an intelligent brain, I thought. I waited this moment for so long. He smirked. In a jiffy, Amir punches Alex's face. Alex falls on the ground. He quietly takes out a syringe containing an antidote from his coat. This is the only cure that able to track the world, to the people, to survive. If you try to kill me, then your daughter will be left alone. Will be left alone once more. Out of the blue, Amir starts sweating and feeling dizzy. He's shaking awfully and losing his energy to grab the antidote. Seeing Amir like that makes Alex shit eating. Kaboom! Jenny smashed the door. Alex, how dare you deceive on me? How could you freeze my real father? You are nothing unless just a mad scientist. Now you make me like an angel of heavenly fire, full with fiery furious. Bang! Bang! Jenny fires barrage of shots to Alex using M416. Jenny walks toward Alex's head and recites Vale Diaboli, which means goodbye devil in Latin. Jenny rushes towards Alex and grabs the antidote. She injects the antidote to Ami, hoping that she's still alive. Ami opens his eyes and smiles, seeing her daughter with him. Jenny drops a tear and hugs her her real father. Hi, father. Nice to meet you. But now, let's save the world. The end. Thank you so much for hearing my stories and looking me acting like, yeah.
Nice. Ta-da! I told you it was a great story. What an imagination that they have. They made us stunned just only by their essay. Keep up with the good work, buddy. Thanks for that very energetic presentation with your body language. Since Amirul had landed his presentation, we're going about to end our program today. I hope all of you get lots of knowledge and pleased by all the story presented by our friends. With that, I will express my gratitude to all of the presenters since they gave such a good support to me. Those audience that are watching me from YouTube, and also our teacher Miss Q, who gave me this golden opportunity to talk in this live. Pardon if I did anything wrong during this session. I hope you can forgive me and thank you again. See you later.
Thank you, Alia. I think this is such a great session that we have today. Um, I'm I'm pleasantly surprised with the quality of work that you've managed to produce. I think I can commission you another project if we have time, because I think this class has actually outdone your 5 by Duri. Let's hope that we didn't tell them about that. But it's such a great quality of story, and I'm really amazed with your talent. Okay, so without wasting any more time, I think that you need to vote on the best story. Okay, I'm going to share with you the link in the comment section. Okay, while I'm giving you a specific feedback for each of the group, okay, you need to vote on the best story in the chat section that I've already shared with you. Okay, right. So it's not going to be a very long feedback because, as I've mentioned, this is such a high quality of work. Okay, but this is just me, your teacher, trying to encourage you to do better next time. Okay, all right. Let's see if we can get the screenshot. Okay. There are a few stories that we have listened just now. I did not know if you purposely did this, but I'm pleased that we have such a variety of genre. Okay, the first genre is Sea of Dandelions. Okay, so the key comment that I want to highlight for this group is that I'm amazed with your vocabulary choice. Okay, the use of words such as agony, Alice, they are very befitting, very suitable for narrative, for the story. So great work on that. You also have such strong moral values in your stories, which is something that we need to have. I mean, not always, especially if it's in your exam, but if you can have it, it will show maturity in your thoughts. Okay, and also it has such a melancholic tone. Okay, so when you have melancholic tone, you would have appropriate vocabulary choice. Okay, the vocabulary choice, like for example, the phrases like in this life, although something something. Okay, those expressions really helped in building this melancholic tone that you intend to achieve in your story. And also with Nashazira's way of telling story, it is quite nice to have that melancholic tone in the voice as well. All right, well done. For jealousy, okay, the key comment there, I'm happy with the visuals, okay, because they are very clear and very suitable with the story that you're going with. And also it has such crafty storytelling technique, meaning to say that you have all those elements of suspense, or what we call a twist in the story. Twist is like when you expect something to happen, it just happened. It didn't you didn't expect the event that you thought that is going to happen next. So that's what twist is, and your story does have that. Okay, it's a bit of what we call psychology thriller, quite different from Sea of Dandelion just now. Quite a different tone, but it's a good different. Okay. And then we had The Rise of Strategist. Okay, this one is a classic story of underdog, whereby this guy, he started off as a loser, and then he managed to win all this tournament in online game, I think. And it is very satisfying to have this kind of story. Okay, because we always wanted to root for and win, root for and had the underdog win against all odds. Okay. And for Unforgettable Moment, it is a story about a group of friends going to Korea, Seoul, to experience a boy band concert in front of their own eyes. So of course, it's a feast of sensory. I like the use of adjectives there. They are very descriptive. They tell us a lot about what's going on, and you can sense that it's when they talk about cherry bloom, it's almost like as you can feel the softness of the cherry bloom, and also the calmness of the color of the cherry bloom right in front of your eyes, the way that they write the story, as well as the way that Kavi told us the story. Okay. And as for a story of a friend, although it might be simple, but again it has great visuals and a good and appropriate choice of vocabulary, because you're talking about racism here, and it is such a sensitive topic. And in this for this group, they managed to uh, turn over the event, make it very something more positive. They changed racism into something of a pushing factor for them to become successful. And with that, I have to commend this group, although they say that it's a simple story, but it's actually quite a layered story. It's a story about racism and how you rise above it. Okay. And lastly, Wake Up in 350. I don't have any other comment rather than it's a great storytelling. I've known Amirul for quite some time now, and I'm quite surprised that he's quite changed for the 2 years that we are not seeing each other. But nevertheless, it was a great story, and I hope that you'll be able to produce this type of work in the future. Okay, right. So after we are done with this broadcast, so in the comment section on YouTube, okay, with the same link that I've shared with you, I want you to write. I want you to write two things. One, two things that you learned from all the stories that you have listened to just now, and number two, one ending that you would change because you have listened to all the 5 stories. So you choose one story that you would change the ending. Okay, right. Let's see if the poll is out. If I can see, have you voted for the best story of today? Let's see if you can get that. Okay, so we have right. We have quite I mean, 2 stories need to share a throne lah. Okay. The best story, the favorite story that we have so far, for now, is Friend and Wake Up in 3050. So congratulations to those stories. I think that is well deserved. All right. So thank you for voting. Thank you for joining this broadcast, and don't forget to write this comment in the comment section. All right, class. I think we're almost done. Once the broadcast is done, please finish our class in the comment section, and I hope to see you next week, well and healthy. Thank you, everyone.